Gone are the days when Indian film industry, especially the Bollywood, would make movies like a love story between an Indian raw agent and a Pakistani ISI agent, and stories portraying that Indians and Pakistanis are brothers. But today, it's high time for movies like Durandhar. The Durandhar movie starring Ranveer Singh is directed by the same person who made the movie URI-The Surgical Strike few years back. Though claimed to be a fictional story, unlike many other movies in Bollywood that were selling the idea of misunderstood neighbors, the Durandhar movie puts the spotlight on ground realities like the Pakistan state policy and proxy wars of Pakistan against India through dialogues like Azaad Kashmir and Bleed India with thousand cuts by its Pakistani character, along with a reference to printing of fake Indian currency notes inside Pakistan. This movie also shows how terror attacks in India like the 26/11 Mumbai attacks were masterminded in real time from Pakistan. In doing so, Durandar does not just tell a story, but it marks a turning point in Bollywood's perspective where realism replaces rose-tinted diplomacy and truth takes precedence over forced harmony. This is not a movie review video, and we are not here to fact check the story nor the characters in the movie, but to see how Bharat is starting to use its world famous Bollywood as a soft power to narrate the story of Bharat to the world in a much nationalist approach. From space power to fire power, this video throws light on Bharat's rocket speed surge in global rankings. Hi, hello, vanakkam, namaskar. Welcome to POV World from Bharat YouTube channel, World through Bharat's lens. Number 1. Asia Power Index. The Asia Power Index 2025 ranks India at number 3, next only to US and China. The Asia Power Index is one that ranks countries in the Indo-Pacific by resources and influence. It measures economic, military, cultural and diplomatic strength across 27 nations. Though it is an Asia Power Index, US tops the list. This index categorizes powers and countries with a score of 70 plus as superpowers, those with a score of 40 plus as major powers, and a 10 plus score means a middle power. So, why is this significant for Bharat now? In 2024, though India was in rank number 3, it was grouped as a middle power only. But according to 2025 Asia Power Index, India secured the spot of a major power with a score of 40. This rise of Bharat as a major power was possible due to number 1, strong economic growth and an increased GDP, especially after COVID pandemic. Number 2, Operation Sindoor that demonstrated Bharat's enhanced combat performance. Number 3, increasing global investor confidence in India. And number 4, India's active participation in multilateral platforms like the G20, BRICS and the Quad and broad diplomatic outreach helped elevate its diplomatic influence score too. Next comes the Global Firepower Index. In the Global Firepower Index 2025, India ranks 4th globally, solidifying its position as a major military power. The Global Firepower Index, that is the GFP, is an annual ranking that compares the military strength of countries across the world. In addition to just weapons and army size, it evaluates over 60 factors to give a realistic picture of a nation's overall warfighting capability. In here, countries are given a power index score. The lower the score, the stronger the military. As far as India is concerned, the GFP score has in fact reduced slightly from 0.121 in 2024 to 0.116 in 2025, which means India continues to modernize and expand its military assets and invests more in defense manufacturing and capabilities, and also focuses on indigenous defense production through Atmanirbhar Bharat. In fact, India has a larger defense budget relative to many other countries. Let's talk about the Space Power Index. The Space Power Index, the SPI, measures how powerful a country is in outer space, not just in launching satellites, but in using space as a tool of national power. There is no single official global ranking released annually like the GFP, but this one assesses national capabilities in space by referring to various rankings like Asia Power Index and Space Competitiveness Index, and also the satellite counts of a country. The top five space powers are the United States, China, Russia, Japan, and India, based on a variety of factors including satellite launches, number of satellites in orbit, and advanced capabilities like the human space flight. India's space power is surging ahead rapidly due to number 1, ISRO's cost-effective brilliance. Missions like Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, and Aditya L1 were done at just a fraction of cost incurred by other countries. Number 2, independent launch capability. India can design satellites, build rockets, and launch them on its own. That is, it doesn't need any permission from any of the other countries. Number 3, formation of Defense Space Agency. Apart from ISRO, India has a dedicated Defense Space Agency, that is the DSA, which focuses only on military space capabilities, ensuring space security, strategic surveillance, communication, and intelligence. This agency develops and operates military satellites like the GSAT-7, GSAT-7A, and also supports defense forces in space and is administered directly by the Ministry of Defense in India. Number 4, India's private space sector. India has opened space to startups and private players to launch vehicles, manufacture satellites, and for space data services. Last month, Prime Minister Modi unveiled India's first private orbital rocket Vikram 1 to the world. Vikram 1 will be designed, assembled, and tested by a startup named Skyroot Aerospace. In fact, the private space enterprises in India has risen from just 54 in 2020 to somewhere around 400 in just 4 years in 2024. The next index is the Global Soft Power Index. Soft Power Index is a research tool that ranks countries based on public perception and influence, measuring their attractiveness through culture, governance, education, business, media, and international relations. Though India's soft power is growing through its diverse culture and heritage, Indian cuisine and yoga, and even digital and creative economy, India ranks 30th in the Global Soft Power Index 2025 with a score of just 49.8 out of 100 and a slight drop from 29th place the previous year. Meaning global public perception about India and the Indians are not that great, and India has a long way to go in increasing its brand value globally. Example, the Indo-Pakistan conflict and the Op.Sindoor that followed in 2025 was perceived by many around the world as an usual border issue between two neighbors rather than an act against terrorism. But India's diplomatic outreach on Operation Sindoor, with multi-party delegations visiting different countries and gathering support for India, has helped change that perception. Outreach like this, along with India's active participation in global forums like the G20 and BRICS Plus, could help change the global POV about India and the Indians. Also, movies like Durandhar, URI-The Surgical Strike, the Kashmir Files, and the Bengal Files would play an important role in shaping Indian narrative on global stage. We hope to see many more Indian movies in future which would change public perception about Bharat and we Bharatiyans. What are the other Indian movies do you think are helping to change the global perception about Bharat? Do not forget to comment.